All
I'm
right.
not really betting the Rockies hard either, though. So
All right. I just hit the go live button. We are live.
that's how you do me, Beaver? Just like that? Man,
Yep.
what's going on, people? I'm just messing with Beaver. I'm always talking shit to him. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Good to see everybody. Decent night last night. Can't think of everything. I mean, we can go through it really quickly, just in case anything bogs my memory. How about them Mets, first and foremost? How about them Mets? Cleveland was cool. Seattle was cool. That under in Cleveland was absolutely dead. How about them Detroit Tigers too? I got a lot of DMs about that one. 11-0 winners, man. Yo, on the road. The Tigers are a play on right now. I'm sorry to tell you that. The Nats only scoring 2. That kind of hurt. The bad guys, a couple people said, asked me if I knew that they were clinching the division. I understood that. My point to that whole thing was I didn't think that winning the division for the Astros meant anything compared to like what it meant for the Mets. Plus, I really didn't like the spot for Garcia anyway at all. He pitched well. The Astros won. But yeah, we'll go back. Marlins scored 10. Rockies cash for us in the first 5, and then they allow 2 in the 9th, 3 in the 10th to lose 10-7 with 16 hits. That's a hard one to take. To have a plus money home dog. Obviously, if it's a dog, it's plus money. But to score 7 runs and 16 hits and take an L on that, we still won because they were plus 105. But it is what it is. That was rough. Anywho, decent little. Well, there's 16 games. I'm not going to have a play on every game for VIP. I'll talk about them on here. Some of them will be VIP. Some of them won't be. But yeah, VIPs will be right out after this. So first things first, Red Sox and the Reds. And I know that I've had a weird love affair with this team for some reason. I'm still I think negative half a unit on this team. Whatever. Red Sox money line minus 125 for 0.75 units. I really like Bello. I think that he is one of those guys that's going to continue to get better. But I really want to focus on Lodolo right now because if you look at his game logs, it's really easy to say, oh man, this guy's pitching really well. And he is. I'm not trying to say that he's not pitching well. But he's coming off of 2 of his best starts of his life. And now he's was literally untouchable. I think he was 11 strikeouts in each of them. No walks. I just don't think that we're always going to get that from him. And now we get a Red Sox team that everybody's playing today. Devers, Bogarts, Martinez, Kike Hernandez is playing. So, Beaver, I still think of when Sauce said, you remember Enrique Hernandez? Ever heard of him?
Bro. Guy's a fucking clown.
I love you, Sauce. That shit made my day. But anyway, Boston's playing everybody today. I just think they're the much better team. Cincinnati's lineup looks literally like a AAA lineup. So Bello's still not allowing home runs at all either. I think that helps in a place like Cincinnati. So again, nothing crazy huge on Boston, but I definitely think they got the advantage here today, especially with the bats.
Do you like the over in this game? Action Jackson asks.
No.
Okay.
I never really play overs in Cincinnati. I have to really, 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 really like the play. And even then, it's really hard for me to do it. But again, I wouldn't be playing, like I said, I can't play it under in Cincinnati. But with the way that Lodolo has pitched and Bello has pitched, I wouldn't play it. But at the same time, again, if you really, both those bullpens are trash too. So it is Cincinnati. I don't know. I have no lean on the total. I'm sorry. Cubs, Marlins. This line just doesn't make really sense to me. Adrian Sampson's been pitching really, really well. I'm taking the Cubs here today. Cubs money line plus 140 for a half a unit. Look, Pablo Lopez has been, I guess, up and down to say the least this year. But he's faced this Cub team, 3 weeks ago, and didn't look fantastic. At the same time, Adrian Sampson has been pitching his tail off. I mean, take a look at what he's done the last couple of weeks. at Shea against the Mets, 6 innings, no runs. Against Cincinnati, 6 innings, 1 run. Against the Milwaukee and St. Louis, a combined 8 innings, 3 runs. St. Louis hit him up pretty much, but then he went into Baltimore and went 5 2/3 scoreless. So I just think that we're getting too big of a plus price on a guy like Sampson. So I think that both of the bullpens for these teams are kind of a wash. But we saw yesterday Miami score a crap ton of runs. They've done that a couple times this week. I don't know if it happens here again against a guy like Sampson. But again, it's one of those things where it's more of a price thing to me. I'm not laying minus 150 with this Marlins team, no matter how much how well they've looked in the last week or so with scoring runs. If you're going to give me a guy like Sampson, who's been pitching lights out for not lights out, but pretty damn close for over a month at plus 140, I'm going to take it. Okay, here's the fun one. Astros and Rays. So everybody was running to bet the Rays today because everything that you heard was the Astros won the division and they were out partying last night and Durka, they're not going to play anybody. Well, go ahead and take a look at the lineup. Pena in, Altuve in. Everybody's in besides pretty much Yordan, the big man, who I don't think would have played if they lost yesterday. I don't know if he played yesterday because if you watched the game yesterday, he took a weird slide into second base. The trainer came out. He's had 10 surgeries on each knee. So you just got to be, I mean, that was an exaggeration, but I'm just saying, like, you just have to be careful with guys like that. So I don't know if he was going to play either anyway, if they won or lost either way. So I'm still on the Rays, but I'm only going to play him in the first 5. Rays first 5, minus 0.5 at minus 105 for 0.75 units. The Rays are rather going to play well tonight. McClanahan's going to come out and pitch well tonight, or they're not, and they're going to get beat. But I don't want to play on the money line with how much it's moved. It's moved almost 20 cents. So obviously the books are telling you that they like the Rays as well, but I think that we have to isolate McClanahan. I will say McClanahan, versus Javier. I will say there is probably a little something to the Astros celebrating, but like I said, this is the 5th year in a row that the Astros have won the AL West. So it's not like this is anything special to them. It's just one of those things where, like I said yesterday, I didn't think the winning yesterday meant too much for the Astros, and I think that we're seeing it here today. I think they're just approaching this game like everything else. So maybe we get some sleepy heads at the plate after a late night out, but I think you have to isolate Tampa in this first 5. They're either going to get out to a good start or they're not. But at this price, I got to play with McClanahan right here. It's scary though. It's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. Here's another fun one. Blue Jays and Phillies. Both teams still kind of fighting for playoff positioning. I'm just going to take the team that I think is the better baseball team, and that I actually think that's been playing better baseball, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays money line minus 120. It's one of my top 3s of the day. Stripling for 0.75 units. Stripling has been really good for them over his last. I mean, essentially he had one bad start on the road, or 2 so-so starts on the road against Pittsburgh and the Angels, where he gave up 3 runs over 6 innings. But besides that, he's given up essentially 2 runs or less to anybody that he plays against or pitches against. He pitched against this Philly team earlier this year. It was in Toronto, but he went 7 innings, didn't give up any earned runs, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were some errors there. I will say the Phillies didn't have everybody in the lineup then, but because a couple of the guys didn't have vaxxed, if you remember that. But this Blue Jays team is rolling right now. 14-6 their last 20. They're coming off of a loss to Toronto. Coming off a loss to Baltimore, but they played really well up in Toronto. I'm just going to continue to ride the Jays. I think they're the better team. I think they got the better bullpen. You could maybe call the bats a wash, I guess, but at the same time, like I said, Phillies bullpen is really showing its ugly head lately. Not to mention the fact that Phillies are coming home from a road trip and they just played the Braves 3 games in a row. That's a lot physically and mentally for them. Just don't like the spot for the Phillies. I also don't trust Kyle Gibson farther than I could throw him. So there's that. Oh, Yankees and the Pirates. So I'm not going to go very quickly on this one or very long on this one. I don't think that the Yankees lose this game, but I'm not really trying to pay the price. So I'm going to pair them with another team that I don't think is going to lose today, and that's the White Sox. So Yankees, White Sox, moneyline parlay at plus 108. Nasty Nestor on the mound. If you look at the Yankees, if you wanted to isolate the Yankees, you could do I think I looked it up. It was same game parlay. You can go Yankees and team total over 4.5 at minus 110, or pair them with somebody else. I don't think they lose. They got everybody in the lineup here today. It actually finally looks like the old Yankees lineup with Stanton, or I'm sorry, with Rizzo and stuff in it as well. So that's going to be fun. But like I said, just not really try to pay the huge price on them. I don't think the White Sox lose today either. So we'll see what happens.
How many units would you wager on that, sir?
0.75. Sorry about that.
All right. There you go, people. 0.75. Now you know.
Now you know. Yo, same bet as yesterday for this game, guys. I'm going to continue to ride this team on the road. Tigers team total, no, Tigers team total over 3.5 at plus 100 for 0.75 units. I clicked off the page. I think they've hit this number in 9 of their last 12 games on the road. They're just smashing. Number 2 in Major League Baseball the last 30 days, hitting right-handers or just hitting on the road in general. They're top 3 in all the major categories. We just saw them score 11 last night. Austin Voth has been good, but he hasn't been going deep into games. And like I said, it doesn't really matter to me. Detroit is just smashing baseballs on the road right now. I'm going to continue to play this game, or continue to play this until it doesn't hit for me. Bang, bang. Atlanta and the mighty Nats. Man, I took a chance with the Nats yesterday on that team total. I would love to do it here today, but I can't do it. I'm going to go what did I have for the Braves? Braves Mariners moneyline parlay at minus 115 for a full unit. Braves still need to win these games. Not to mention it's Patrick Corbin on the mound. If you're watching this show, you know how bad Patrick Corbin's been for the whole year. I will say he has been pitching better decently, but on the road in Truist Park is not going to be one of those spots. Again, not really trying to lay minus 150 with the run line with the Braves. I think they smash them, but maybe look at the team total if you want to isolate the Braves, but I don't think that the Mariners or Braves lose today. Mets and the Brewers. Look, I don't think that the Mets. My play in this game is under 8 for minus 115 for 0.75 units. I think Ashby, if you take out his last, he's had one bad start, but besides that, he's been pretty decent for them. Especially he pitches a little bit better at home. Cookie Carrasco has been essentially just rock solid for the Mets. Obviously, all these guys are going to have outlier performances where they don't pitch well, but for the most part on the year, Cookie has continued to pitch well for this team. Maybe the Mets, I think this is more of like a playoff type of game. The Brewers really need this game. I'm not betting the Brewers because I just don't do that very much. And I don't want to play on the Mets. Again, I think that they play to win this game today. I just don't want to lay it with them because I think that the Brewer, it's just too hard for me. I think it's like a playoff game. I see 4-2, 3-4 type of something like that today. I think these teams play this game very, very close. I really like the under here. Next game up is the Angels and the Rangers. And look, I'm playing the Angels here today. Not sure how much is going to be on VIP, so we're just going to go 0.75 units for the show. Look, Patrick Sandoval's been lights out for them. He really, really has. And he's got I really want to play against. And Cole Reagans is not a guy that I'm really trying to get behind. The caveat to this is that Rangers really hit lefties well. One of the top 5 teams in the league at hitting lefties the whole year. Home, road, it doesn't matter. Sandoval has seen them before, and he pitched really well against him. So Trout wasn't playing yesterday. Lucky for us because we were on the Mariners. It wasn't because of an injury or anything like that. They've said through the public or through like the media, public social media and stuff like that He plans on playing the last couple weeks of the season. So the only caveat to this is if Trout doesn't play and stuff like that, then I'm out. But as long as the normal Trout, Ohtani, Renfrigo is in that Angels lineup, we're all good to go. Next game up, White Sox and the Guardians. I'm all over the White Sox today, guys. All over them. White Sox first 5 minus 0.5 at minus 115 for 0.75 units. White Sox minus 1.5 at plus 130 for a half a unit as well. And then if you want to play it, I'm going to do it personally. I'm not going to make Beaver type it, but I'm going to have like a unit and a half or probably a full unit on that White Sox money line. It's down to 165. I don't know where it's at right now. Let me take a look to see where it's at. It's at 170 now, but yeah, I just, there are certain times that I feel like you have to, load up the gun and take some shots. I think this is a good spot to do it here with the White Sox here today. Like you said, like you've seen earlier, I've already used them in a parlay. So I'm not going to get like crazy with it. I don't do like 5 unit bangers, but I'll probably have 2.5, 3 units invested into this White Sox team before the night's over. You got Dylan Cease on the mound for them, who, if you're watching this show, you don't need me to tell you how good they've been. And then at the same time, Savali for the Guardians has pitched decently, but he's not going to go deep into this game. And if he doesn't get very deep, there's a part of me that thinks that maybe Cleveland punts this game away a little bit. Their bullpen has been so valuable to them lately. They've got more games coming up against the White Sox as well. I just don't see them using Savali for 2 innings and then just fully unloading this bullpen to win this game, especially if Cease is dealing. So I'm like I said, I'm going to take a shot with the White Sox here today. I think it's a very, very good spot for them. Cease coming off a loss in Oakland, now at home in like essentially kind of like a must-win game for them. I'm all over the White Sox. It's do or die for these boys here today. Do or die. Whew. Oh man. Hey, yo, what's the rule? Beaver taught us this. What's the rule? Zach Greinke at home, you play him, right? Royals money line at plus 100 for a half unit. I would play the first 5, but it's minus 110. I don't really want to deal with it, but I got a better play for you as well on top of that. Instead of a first 5 play, we're going to go Twins team total under 4.5 at minus 110 for 0.75 units. The Twins have hit this number in 2 of their last 10 games. They're simply not hitting. Now you have Greinke on the mound. I understand that the bullpen, or the Royals bullpen, isn't that great, but they do pitch a little bit better at home. And this is just kind of like a fade of the Twins. Like I really think they've just essentially kind of thrown in the towel. So yeah, I really like the team total under. Even if Kansas City loses, I don't think that Minnesota scores 5 runs. So either way, I'm on that team total under for sure. Yeah, the Dodgers are overrated. Just don't play doubleheaders, and then you won't think that way. Like I told everybody that asked me. JJ Barea and the Giants. Just so you guys know, the Giants are Beaver's play of the day. As soon as I got on this call to me, he was boasting up the Giants about how much he loved the Giants today. They smashed lefties. They're going to smash Freeland, all this stuff, right? I couldn't disagree more. But no, he's actually really right. They really do not have great numbers against Freeland. For me, I just don't like – I'm going to continue to play the Rockies in this first 5. Rockies first 5 minus 0.5 at plus 115 for a half unit. Rather, Freeland's pitched really well the last few starts, so I understand Beaver's concern with his history. But like I said, I'll take the current form over him. Rendon was supposed to start today for the Giants. They pushed him back, so now you're going to get a couple innings from a few different guys, which I just don't really like with the Rockies at home. The Rockies might lose this game like they did yesterday, but I think through the first 5 with the way that Freeland's been pitching in a Giants bullpen that's been shaky at best all year, I'm willing to take a shot at the nice little plus money here today.
Thanks for the shout out. I'm a John Brebbia stan. He's made me so much money this year. Has never done anything wrong. Truly a true sport.
Yeah. He's a pro's pro type of guy, you know?
What he is fucking abysmal, but let's move on. hate
Next
that
game up. Next game up is Mariners and the A's. I've used the Mariners in a couple parlays. You guys already know that. I did the Mariners. Did I give out the Mariners and White Sox on here? I don't know. Just to make sure, Mariners, White Sox moneyline parlay at plus 129 for a half a unit. And then Mariners minus 1.5 at minus 120 for 0.75 units. Obviously, I think the Mariners haven't clinched yet, but they still need to win these games. But the reason that I really want to play on this, one is Castillo. He's been fantastic for a while. Everybody already knows that. That's why they traded for him. JP Sears actually was pitching well, but he hasn't pitched well his last couple of starts. He's been hit kind of hard. And then on top of that, the Seattle bullpen, heavy slider usage team, one of the more heavy teams in Major League Baseball. Oakland is dead worst or dead last in Major League Baseball, hitting that slider. So I think Castillo goes a while. I have a hard time seeing Oakland scores very much in this game. Julio should be back today. It's been reported that he's supposed to come back today. I guess he just had a little bit of a tight back through that Angels series, so they're being more precautious than anything. But supposedly he's back. Even if he's not, I still think that Castillo just rolls and the Mariners roll here today. Either way.
There's a dirty rat in the comments.
Kyle?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't know. He's just shitting on me. He said it went 0-2 against the spread yesterday, with just such cap. 2-0, but that's besides the point. I'll just keep on churning on.
All right. Be the bigger man, Beaver. Be the bigger man.
It's hard. It's hard sometimes.
Trust me. I know. I've worked with him for a couple years now.
Yeah.
He good guy, but this fucking guy.
No, the disrespect's through the roof. It's every day. Every day I go to the office, I get spat on. It's workplace abuse.
It is, and people wonder why he hasn't made a human resource department yet. He's not cheap. He just doesn't want to deal with the consequences, guys.
No, he wants us to have very little resources. Actually, it's his business.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, last game on the board: Cardinals and the Padres. This might surprise you guys a little bit, and Sauce is going to go nuts. I'm on the Padres here. Padres, it came down. Padres money line minus 110 for 0.75 units. Look, Wainwright on the road, not the same guy that I love on the road or at home. His last time facing this Padres team in San Diego, I think he went 4 innings and gave up 6 runs. It was just bad. Let me double check the innings just because I was there, but I want to make sure double check it. But either way, it wasn't great. Clevenger I'll start with him. 2 back-to-back starts where he's looked absolutely horrible. But at the same time, one of them was against the Dodgers. The other one was against the Mariners. And the Mariners at home is just a different animal. On the road against the Giants, on the road against the Dodgers, on the road against Seattle. That's not easy. So he hasn't looked great. Before that, he had looked pretty good. It's just on the road, he just doesn't pitch well. At home, he's a much different pitcher. The Padres got called out by their manager 3 days ago, and they've really responded, and that's partly why I want to continue to play them. I think they're playing really well. I know that they had to travel, but it was just from Arizona. It doesn't really concern me. We're either going to see Clevenger pitch really, really well, or he's going to get lit up. But I just don't think that I can trust Wainwright right now in this spot. This game means a lot more to the Padres than it does the Cardinals. Kyle Kerms is right. Full disclosure, the last 2 years in the Padres, I have just light my money on fire when I bet the Padres. Full disclosure, I am dead serious. I'm probably down like 12 units the last 12 years or 2 years betting the Padres. So that's full disclosure. But I knew that going into this. I knew that when I was trying to get to the St. Louis side, I couldn't get to the St. Louis side. Man, it's a damn shame. Yeah, Raymond Cummings, we know he likes to have fun. Trust me, we deal with his fun every single day. No, dude, of course. Dude, the reason that we go at each other like this is because we love each other so much. It's all in good fun, bro. Anything that we say is always a joke. I hope everybody always knows that. But I guess we do have some new people. So anyway, that's the show today. I actually don't have very many. I don't have any player props for you guys. I guess I have a couple players that I want to watch, but all the total base props are kind of jacked up. I don't know if they knew I was coming or what, but Salvi Perez has really good numbers, but his total base props at like minus 125. Eroy Jimenez for the White Sox, another one, but it's all jacked up. Austin Riley, Vladimir Guerrero. Vlad's is at like minus 110, so if you really wanted to play that one. But besides that, yeah, they're all jacked up, so it's kind of hard. I'm going to figure out some type of a hit parlay or something like that, but for VIPs. But besides that, that's it for today. Show tomorrow, I think 4 p.m. Let me double check to make sure. Almost positive. Yeah, 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. tomorrow. All the games are late. There's a Mets-Brewers game early and a Nationals-Braves game early. I'll post plays of those on Twitter or something like that. But it's Max Fried versus somebody that we don't know. And then for the Mets Braves or the Mets Brewers game, it's Walker and Hauser. So that might be a fun one. Depends on what happens today. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. VIP will be out in the next half hour max. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Stay blessed. Stay blessed.